Hello everyone, my name is Holden Hardman. Joined with me again today is Jeremy Branch.
What's up, guys?
Today we're going to be watching a video about furries.
My man!
And our objective today is to not judge these people. It's not going to be hard for me because I'm extremely non-judgmental, but Jeremy here...
Real judgy.
Very judgy. Play along at home. If you don't know what a furry is, you're going to find out. We're going to have a little fun.
My name is Lauren. I'm 19 years old. I'm a college student. And I love to wear fursuits. When I wear gear in public, I definitely get a lot of weird looks.
We've encountered furries at like conventions and stuff, and where it's kind of more acceptable. It's weird that she goes out in public, just like in normal life, and does this.
You know, that's a really good point. It's weird in certain settings, like way more unusual. And, you know, you walk around in public, you're gonna get a weird look or two.
Well, I mean, she knows that. She doesn't seem to care. I mean, look at this chick's face.
Yeah. She is not trying not to judge.
I'm good so far. No judgment. She's doing her own thing. How are you doing?
Yeah.
Lauren's always been a real creative person. All of a sudden one day she came and said, "Mom, you want to give me some money so I can start buying some fur and making these suits?" And that's how it came to be.
This is my fursona Kira. She is my first fursona I've made. She is a fox.
So I guess a fursona is not something that is fixed. I guess a fursona is static, and you can have more than one fursona.
It doesn't seem like multiple personality. It seems like optional multiple personality. Like, have you ever see The Act? Whenever you never saw The Act?
No.
Oh, it's good. Make sure you check out The Act on Hulu. In the TV show, the guy has like an other personality, and his girlfriend, the girl Gypsy Rose Blanchard, she kind of creates a character of her own to go with his. So it's made up. It's not an actual, like, it's not like Split or something.
Yes, right. It's not an actual personality disorder. It's like I'm choosing to identify as this character.
Yeah, a character you're playing.
Kira lets me bring out my more outgoing and talkative side.
How are you going to be more outgoing and talkative in a fursuit? Outgoing, I can understand.
I think it's the mask.
Anonymity.
Yeah, I think it allows you to project the person you wish to be onto something else, and then you can be that person.
Lauren as a kid was really outgoing, totally not shy. When her dad died, that's when things started to go downhill for Lauren. After that, she became introverted. She barely squeaked by in high school.
I became antisocial and shy.
There usually is some type of trauma when it comes to something like this. Not saying like all furries are like this. Once you're feeling the need to be a furry literally every day and going out in public, I could see that trauma being a factor.
Yeah, and when you put it that way, it's just like, it's sad.
Yeah.
When we contextualize it.
So,
when you think about it. No, but, and in a way, if that's a coping mechanism, then like, if it brings you some sort of happiness, then that's great. It doesn't seem like maybe the most healthy way, but I guess that's debatable, right?
Yeah, Jeremy, I'm so proud of you. You're
Look
doing
at
a
me
good job.
break through.
A fursona starts off with a basic concept of a real life animal. I do everything completely from scratch.
Then why are they all foxes and wolves?
Maybe.
Have you ever seen a duck furry?
If you were to be a furry, what animal would you choose?
I mean, I would definitely think outside the box. I would be something like unusual, like a giraffe, or something with an unusual shape, like a whale. No, I don't know.
Whales are mammals, so I guess they could be furry.
Yeah, furry whale is kind of stretching the definition.
Why does it have to be an animal? Could it be like could I be a peach?
Yeah, that's a very, very fair point.
I add tongues and teeth, as you can see, and it is attached through a hinge mechanism in here.
From a purely technical standpoint, I think that these types of things are really impressive. To just be able to create something like that with moving mouths and stuff.
Yeah, it's interesting that realism is what she's striving for with the pink and the white and stuff.
She'll half-heartedly look for a job, and then it's back to the fursuits again.
Are you telling me there's not a sexual element to that? Did you see the drawing where the thing was... I mean, I guess you're not telling me that. Are you guys trying to tell me that is anyone trying to tell me that there's not some sexual element to this?
Well, we know that furries have a reputation of having a sexual element to them. The only thing that we've really seen from her so far is just her drawing kind of being a little seductive.
Yeah, and it wasn't like... It's not crossing any sort of line, but it is a sexy, furry animal.
Yeah, I don't know what it's called whenever you're sexually attracted to personified animals.
I mean, if it was the female Bugs Bunny, I understand.
See, so you got... Jeremy, I think you have a little bit more furry in you than you realize.
It's not uncommon that people who will wear these furry animal costumes are really avoiding some major issues about their own self-esteem, their own perceived inadequacy.
That's what I think this all boils down to. I think it's entirely psychological. For some reason, it gives her the ability to be more outgoing, as she said, and I think it's a self-esteem thing. In this case, not saying all furries, in this case.
It's almost like the Japanese body pillows, like, it's like there's a comfort element to it, but to me, it seems like being a part of the crowd would be so much more easy than being singled out constantly everywhere you go, to know that all eyes are on you, probably judging you at least a little bit, you know?
It's interesting that they're so introverted, knowing that dressing up like this will draw attention. So that's weird. It doesn't seem to make sense.
I think that there's that element in cosplay, though, as
Yeah,
well.
that's
It's
true.
just that this is such a specific thing. The drawings, there's like this certain style. All of the furries, they have a very similar look. I wonder where it originated.
I don't know.
Hopefully we'll find out.
Furry fandom is a very large community. It's full of people who wear fursuits and who just love either creating them, wearing them, drawing them, or just looking at them.
Yeah, we see a lot of this at conventions and stuff. I don't think I've ever been to one where there's this many, but you definitely will see them around.
No, I'm looking in that crowd, and I don't see but maybe 5 furries that are not foxes or wolves.
Is that a frog?
Oh, we got something unique back there. Props to them. Look, they're standing on there like I'm a trendsetter.
Do furries bother you when you see them out and about? Like when you see them at conventions and stuff?
No, I would usually bother them. I approach them. I'm like, no. No, I've never. There's something about that anonymity that I think people could take advantage of. If it's a 19-year-old girl dressed like a furry going around taking pictures with people, fantastic. But I don't know who's behind that fur.
Yeah, but at the same time, not only furries, but people cosplay as stormtroopers and stuff too. It could be the same thing. Why are you singling out furries, Jeremy?
Higher diddler potential. I don't know what makes me think that, because they're so appealing to children, you know what I mean?
The cuter you are, the higher potential for diddling.
Yes, correct.
Okay, I see. So, not saying that they will, just the higher potential.
Correct.
Okay.
And like a stormtrooper's not approachable. They're bad guys. They're tools of the Empire. Furries, a little more approachable.
Well, maybe they're bad guys because they diddle. Okay, so some furries wear their suits while engaging in sexual activity. That's what you were talking about.
Currently.
There is a darker side to the fandom where it does involve fetishes.
Like in that little touch, they say that's a darker side of the fandom. So if you're doing it for the kink, shame on you. If you're doing it to walk down the street in public, all these things, then you're all good.
Well, hang on. Don't forget, this is the Do Not Judge Challenge. So even if they're doing it for kinks, while I don't share that fetish, you do you. You know? You do you.
We're here at the bowling alley with some family and friends, and Chris is here. He's the one who most disapproves of my fursuits, so we'll see what happens.
Hey, Kara, lay the ball on the ground and hit it with your tail.
I don't know how cool it is for the family member to also be making fun of her in front of the other people too, because they know her. It's not like some stranger that, you know what I'm saying?
He's being quite judgy.
If I was at an event like this with a family member that I knew had some type of mental issue, I don't feel like I would want to literally call them out and make fun of them in front of our other family members about it. Thoughts, Jeremy?
To each their own. It's the tough thing. It's like, I understand being like progressive and not being judgmental, but there's also a thing about at what point do we just like stop trying to normalize things that are clearly not normal.
I see what you're saying.
I think it's a little ridiculous, especially in a public place. I think it's pretty out there. It's weird walking around with these things on.
I think these things are give and take. I don't think that it's unfair of him to say, I don't think that she should wear it out in public. Just like I don't think it's fair for somebody to say she shouldn't do it at all. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I think that there needs to be a balance.
I'm like, you can wear it in public anytime you want, as long as you're not with me. I'm making the decision to not go out in public with you, because that's the same thing. I can't impose my will on you.
You're setting your own boundaries.
You can't force me to go out with you,
Setting it, that's good. Boundaries are important, people.
They are.
I'm pretty interested to see what a therapist has to say about this. And it's completely harmless. I don't think I'd be stopping anytime soon.
I think it's a coping mechanism. I don't think it's the healthiest one, but I don't think that she's hurting anybody and she doesn't care what other people think. Great, good for her. But I'm curious to see what this therapist has to say.
For Lauren, the suit is definitely a way of coping.
I hope you feel bad vindicated.
Who she is in that costume is who she wishes she could be, at least some of the time. It's a part of who she is. But she's not able to feel comfortable doing that without the costume.
This kind of makes me a dick because, like, I think steampunk's pretty cool, but a lot of those people, like, take it to the whole level of, like, living like they're in the Victorian era. So there's always a line on something. Same with cosplay. I don't think cosplay in itself is unhealthy. I think when you do it, as the psychologist said, and as you mentioned about, like, building a barrier between yourself to protect you and insulate you from a cruel world, I don't think that's as healthy as trying to confront it and kind of face it at its own terms, you know? Yeah.
I just do wonder about that whole idea of a part of you that you're able to express more fully in costume, and whether it's possible to get to that point without the costume, or even if that's something you're interested in.
It could be. It'd be nice to just kind of come out of my shell a little bit more. I mean, of course, even if I did fully just kind of exert myself like that, I still would wear the suits and I'd still be kind of crazy, but it would be nice.
So that's the goal, right?
Yeah.
Is to get to a place where you are high functioning and able to, like, live a normal life and then do it as a hobby.
For some reason, the furry suit lets her be confident. I feel like it would have the opposite effect on me.
Correct.
But for some reason, it's working for her. Like the therapist said, I think that her ultimate goal should be to, you would go as a furry, in this case, going to, like, get coffee or something, go as yourself just this one time, and then just slowly build off that. So where she feels comfortable doing it, just being herself.
Can you imagine how hard to drink coffee in a furry suit it would be? Everything would be so hard.
The little mouth mechanism, you just kind of pour it in there.
On your face, just hope for the best.
I don't see myself stopping being in the furry fandom or wearing my fursuits. It's definitely a very rewarding experience for me, and I just love doing it, so I will definitely be continuing this.
Cut to the therapist dressed up as a furry in the next scene. She's like, you really opened my eyes.
She, like, eventually can't do therapy without being in a fursuit of her own. I think anything can be taken too far. Like, look at all the crap I have on my wall. If any of that became an issue in my, like, relationship, my work life, like paying my bills, my friendships, I would cut it out, dude. I would cut it out. There's more important things.
I don't want to be judgy because you can't really, like, cherry pick the things that are, well, I suppose we all do, but I feel like it's almost double standard to say that cosplay, dressing like Spider-Man or Batman, is normal at conventions, but dressing as a furry at conventions isn't normal.
Yeah, and even with cosplay, for a lot of people there is a sexual element to that, getting to do Wonder Woman or something, you know?
Oh yeah, I know. Let's just cut that. But no, 100%, and it dabbled in that part of the fandom for a moment. I don't know if that's the most prevalent form of furry. It's like most people are into it for the kink, or some people are.
I don't know. I'm not in the furry community. This is definitely an outlier case. I don't think that she represents all furries, but I do know that there's, like, a sexual component for a lot of them. I think that's a separate thing from what she's doing.
Are we gonna make our furry costumes now?
Yeah, let's do it. I actually don't have to make a furry costume because we already have a furry in the house. And trust me, she is kinky. Just kidding. Hey, if you stuck with us to the end, we really appreciate it. Let us know what you think about furries and about fandom and all that kind of stuff. Make sure you check out Jeremy's channel. I'll link him down below. As always, we appreciate you watching. We'll catch you in the next video. Take care.